Let's put our hands together. Give it up to Dr. Ellen, President of Cal State San Marcos. Ellen, could you get your mic up here real quick too if we can?
Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm going to go home and double check. I thought I was in such good shape because everything I have is two-factor, but I always use the text feature. So now I've got to go rethink everything I'm doing in terms of security. And you know, when I think about the university, everything that we just discussed about cyber is so important to what we do at CSUSM. And I spent last year at Thanksgiving working with all of our partners at the system, working through someone that had come into our system at the university and trying to make sure that we were not going to spend our holiday finals deciding whether or not we could pay ransom or not. So I've personally walked that journey, and fortunately we had a lot of good help to get us through it. So, but I'm thrilled to be with you today. Again, I'm Ellen Neufeldt, and I am the president of Cal State San Marcos. And so one of the things I think about when I get up in the morning, you know, we hear about or see about or read about, or we see it happening right there in our own companies, is that people, you know, are leaving their jobs to find purpose. I keep reading that, leaving the jobs to find purpose. And I'm about the luckiest person on the planet because I'm in one of the most purposeful careers that anyone could ever have. And so I know, I've known for a long time how fortunate I am to be in such a purposeful profession. And to keep on the theme, to see how many P's I can say, for me personally, I was literally fortunate enough to be born right into it. My parents were in married housing at Michigan State University. When I say I surprised them in such a wonderful way, I'm sure at that time, because that's what they needed was a third child, a third daughter, while my dad was in grad school with loans and my mom was working to put him through college, and here I came. So I got to start literally my life in higher education and have been in it just about every day ever since. So I know how fortunate I am. And so when I see what's happening in the world right now, and people are looking and finding purpose in what they do, it's really made me reflect on how fortunate that I am to be part of this university and to be right here in San Diego County. I have just started my third year with Cal State San Marcos. So I've got to own that I haven't always felt so lucky because I got the job and I thought I had won the lottery. I came here in the summer of 2019, and 7 months later, I was the president of the university from my home study in my house, my pandemic rescue dog, and running a university from my home. I'd never worked from home in my entire life, and trying to figure it out, and had really not had a chance to get out in this wonderful community and make all the connections that you think you're going to make when you arrive. I was making them through Zoom and my cell phone, and I did get to meet all of my neighbors, though, very quickly. They remember my dog's name, not my name. And when we got the vaccine clinic on campus, we held the North County vaccine clinic as well as the testing site. When we first got the vaccine clinic, my neighbors would stop me and they said, "Can you get me an appointment? Can you give me the vaccine?" And one day, one of the neighbors stopped me and said, "We want the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Can you make sure we get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine?" And I had to explain that I was only impersonating a public health expert, and I had nothing to do at the vaccine clinic, but I was so glad that we were able to serve the community in that way. But I am thrilled to be getting out and exploring what I almost feel like is still my new home, and telling people about this wonderful place, this purposeful place that I get to be a part of literally each and every day. And if many of you have probably been a part of the campus, helped the campus, served the campus, but if you haven't, that's okay, because I'm inviting you over right now. Well, if you want to come visit this campus, which I know that you do, I want to offer that invitation right this minute, because we are 32 years young, and in higher education, that means we're about a teenager. And this fantastic university, we went from 0 to over 16,000 students in that time. And in the world of higher education, that's like a blink of an eye. We don't usually do things that quickly. And so we have grown up rather quickly. And we know that we're a university of place. We serve primarily San Diego County, Southwest Riverside County. When we think about the university and our campus, We know that we are an anchor and we're serving so many students that are first in their families to go to college. And the economic impact is really something quite powerful. For every $1 invested in the university, $8.45 in industry activity is generated. And it grows to nearly $25 for every dollar invested when we take into account the impact of our alumni and their earning power. And so we know that we're contributing to the region. We know we're a university of place. We have we do not have mission creep where we are. We are a university of place. Many of our students, most of our students come from San Diego County, and the majority of them stay and work and live in the county. We are thrilled to serve this region, and I am thrilled again to be a part of it. So, what do you do when you're a new president in the middle of a pandemic and you're sitting in your home study with your very misbehaved pandemic puppy? Well, you start a strategic planning process. What else would you do? And so we are just about to really launch in the largest way in January our new strategic plan. And sometimes in higher education, we like to use a lot of words for what we do. We like lots of sentences, all of that. But for us, it's really very simple. And that's one of the other great things I love about my university, is it's a place of mission that had it long before I got there. Our mission, quite simply, is about our students' success. And there's obviously more words to that because we're in higher education, but that's all that people really have to remember. I was so taken when I arrived that no matter who you talk to, the community partners, the faculty, the staff, everybody got that that's what we were about. And something key to that for us is that it's really fueled by innovation, education, and community partnerships. We're 32 years young, and we've grown up with the community, and we know that partnership means everything. So when we think about what that partnership means and how we serve it, and we think about our strategic plan, really the vision of our strategic plan is to be one of the top universities in the nation for social mobility. That is really what it's all about for us. And right now, we're ranked one of the top 5% in the nation for social mobility. That's for the 7th year in a row. They measure that index each time. And we are definitely ranked higher on that index than any other university in San Diego County. Also, U.S. News and World Report started ranking top universities in social mobility, and we're in the top 10 in the Western region. Now, I have a little bit of criticism for rankings because when we think about social mobility, higher ed rankings really worked against the idea of social mobility and student trajectory and where universities would go in the beginning, or still do in many ways. It was based on input and affluence and prestige. And so really when we think about universities, we have been the culprits. My profession, we've been the culprits and have been accused of helping create and exacerbate the socioeconomic divide. And so another one of the reasons that I'm so fortunate and be a part of a purposeful profession is that I've worked in social mobility for most of my career. And as I mentioned earlier, to come to Cal State San Marcos was like winning the lottery to me. Over half of our students are first in their family to go to college, and over half are from underrepresented minority groups. Now, about 44%, almost half, are Pell recipients. And if you don't know what that is, that's really that's how we look at low-income students. It's a measurement through the federal government that offers funding for students to go to college. And almost 40% are over the age of 22. So the idea that everybody that goes to college is 18 years old, graduates from high school, and 4 years later has a degree, we're turning that upside down. Something else I'm very proud of is that we have the most military-affiliated students of any California State University school. There's 23 of us. We have the most per capita. 12% of our students are military-affiliated in some way. So we're really serving the region. And something that I think about our new plan and where we're going and what it's all about, is it's really about the idea that not just to say we're changing what higher education is, but I think of Cal State San Marcos as rebuilding the future of what higher education should be. And this pandemic and what it's caused in looking at the economy and where we need in the workforce and who we need in that, and the drivers for economic prosperity, CSUSM is at the heart of that. And so if you can see that I am very proud of the university I'm a part of, even though it's been a very short time, I am. When we think about low-income students, really, it was something that's pretty interesting is if you're in the lowest quintile, I always want to say quartile, but it's quintile. If you're in the lowest quintile um, of the economic scale, you have about an 11% chance of graduating from a university in 6 years. So every time at the university that I'm a part of, or any university that puts this first, and CSU, the California State University System, really puts it first in general. Every time a first-generation and or low-income student becomes a part of our university and we support them through graduation, that is changing a life. And it's not just changing one life, it's changing a family's trajectory and it's changing a community. And that, to me, is such a purposeful thing and what higher education needs to be about. And I am proud to be part of a university that's changing that trajectory and thought. Now, I've said social mobility probably maybe 6 to a dozen times already. And if you're thinking, which I can completely understand, what in the world is that? I kind of break it down like this. So it's from where somebody starts to where they end up on the other side of their college experience, the graduation, the college degree. So, and sometimes we look at that, it's not just socioeconomic, but it is that trajectory of workforce and career that can happen for a student. But it's also how they engage in the community, how they give back to the community, and the whole quality of life. And the more people that we help advance, and universities, to me, it is paramount that we are a part of that. That's better for our region, our economy, the quality of life for everybody. And so I always think it's important to personalize that. Now, I told you I was born on a college campus. So not literally, I was born in a hospital, but very close to being born on a college campus. So I was not a first-generation student. I don't have the story to tell that many of our students do so beautifully to watch, but my father was. In fact, I am a first-generation American. My parents, their families immigrated. They were German Russian Mennonites, and they immigrated to Canada, and they worked as tenant farmers on the farms. And somewhere, somehow, my father found his way to college. There's something for me to be able to talk about my father, and actually my mother, who both did some things that were so non-traditional. Now, when you grow up as a child of German Mennonite parents, you don't think of them as really trailblazers. I'm just going to tell you. It's really not the thought that went through my head. But as I get to look back now and see what my father did, because he left the farm and he went to college, I am a college president. That's the trajectory of social mobility that my father and the path that my father and my mother laid out for me. And many times, just as it was for my mom and dad, there's a lot of headwinds pushing against that. My mother's family thought this was the craziest thing in the world, and she went to work to support him. Those are the stories and those are the lives that I'm proud to now pay it forward and be a part of in helping change that trajectory. And it is truly personal to me. And probably, whether it's us or someone in our family, it's a personal story somewhere along the journey to each and every one of us. The other thing about the university, as we think about it, we know that it's a knowledge economy. And we know, especially through the pandemic, that we're marked by there's much rising income inequality and declining social mobility. Actually, the college going rate nationally, which we've made some headway in, that is falling back. Universities in general have had declining enrollments for the last 8 semesters nationally. That is not true for Cal State San Marcos, although I will say I held my breath a few times when we first closed, but our enrollment has held strong. And according to recent data from the San Diego Regional Economic Development Corporation, in San Diego County, 42% of all new jobs will require a degree or credential. But even more so is 49% of what they say tasks have the potential to be automated with existing technologies over the next 2 decades. So when I have conversations, I recently had a conversation with Mayor Todd Gloria, who was talking about engineers and how much they needed engineers. I have many conversations with the mayors in North County, and they talk about how important it is post-pandemic that we are part of, quote, retooling and offering everything from certificates to undergraduate to master's degrees that will really help our students move forward. And we work closely with the regional EDC to see where we can go and how we can be a part of the solution. To me, that's really the power of Cal State San Marcos. It is really about our ability to bring together people with diverse backgrounds and talents to learn and work. And in a way, the way we think of our region as an entire learning laboratory, inspiring our students to become leaders who understand the rewards of service and community. And it's in the way we partner with our region right here to create the programs and pathways to lead that to a stronger, more diverse pipeline. And in the way we graduate thousands of students each year who are eager and ready to lead, collaborate, problem solve, and create new and better futures for everyone. And this, to me, is the future of where higher education needs to go. You know, when I think back on this wonderful, beautiful, purposeful career that I have been lucky enough to have, I moved here from Virginia, and I was in a town called Norfolk, Virginia, at a university called Old Dominion University. And I see a few heads nodding because I think of it like I traded one Navy base for another and one ocean for another. So people say, wasn't that a big, shocking change? And I say, I just have to remember to go west to get to the ocean, and then I have that down. And since I'm directionally challenged, I kept wanting to go east sometimes, just thinking about the East Coast directions. That was supposed to be funny, didn't work out, but we'll see what happens next time.
That was.
So, you know, when I was at Old Dominion University, I had the opportunity to be part of starting a national center for social mobility there, and to really work with organizations and universities and businesses to bring together, think together about how we move this forward. I got to do things like start the Online Virginia Network, which is really about meeting adult learners where they are. And now I get to be at Cal State San Marcos, which is really each and every day getting up in the morning, living that embodiment of where social mobility can go. And so when we think about that, we think about, you know, I think I was supposed to, I always forget to use the slides. I think I was supposed to show you some of these a while ago, but it really, it's all good. It's all good. There's a picture of some people doing really creative things, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that's about. So when we think about what that means and how we create that pipeline, you know, it's really about working with the community on engaged learning. Gallup did a survey. You know, Gallup is always looking and seeing what's out there and what drives certain things in as predictors. And they looked at what is the big predictor of success after college graduation. And the number one was really things about community engaged learning, most especially internships. It was about learning by doing. That was the big predictor. And you know what's so funny is that surprised us all. Like, I don't know why, but was something that's so important. And so especially when we're talking about people that haven't been exposed to certain things in their family or their communities, to learn by doing means so much. And the wonderful thing is that I'm at a university where this is second to none. And I think about really the stories of our students and what they've learned and what they get to be a part of. And I really have nothing to do with it except I get to come brag about it. That makes such a difference. I want to tell you about a student that I really connected with, and her name is Apple. And Apple is a biological sciences major, and she spent a summer in our labs. We have a summer scholar program where our students get to come in and work with faculty in the labs. And on my very first day at the university, I went to the labs. And so every day on my anniversary, I go to the labs. The thing I get in trouble for is I always end up there in open-toe shoes. It's summer, and I always get in trouble for that. And somehow the safety people come out, and they have to stop what they're doing because one of these days I'm just going to keep some closed-toed shoes in the office to go in. But Apple was working on a project targeting alopecia, an autoimmune disease for hair loss. Her driving force, she told me, was that her mother had passed away from cancer, and she wanted to one day find a cure for cancer. The other thing about Apple is she and 12 students with their faculty member put together over the summer a manuscript for publication, something undergraduates rarely get to do. And so at the big poster session that they had in the summer, where we were wearing masks in about what felt like 110 degrees, but it was a great event. Her aunts showed up. Her father was in the Philippines, and they came as her family members. They were so proud, and she was so proud of what she'd accomplished. And it's not going to be too long before she graduates and goes on to grad school or in the industry. Out of a survey, we know that 8 out of 10 of our students stay in the region, are employed in the region, and are contributing to the region. You know, we have so many other terrific examples, and one is a senior experience program where businesses, maybe businesses like yours, can work with our senior students out of our business program and put together projects to help the businesses move forward. You know, the Burnham Foundation has helped us bring in nonprofits that at no cost, and they get their own consulting team with a mentor. Many of our community members, some right here in this room, Steve Wagner for one, mentors our students along the journey. And really it's about how the faculty come together, the community members come together, our students come together, and really make magic happen and success happen. Now, we just heard a very scary but wonderful presentation on cyber. So my colleague was helping me text back to campus because I wanted to give you an example around cyber. So we do have a master's program in cyber as well as a certificate and a bachelor's degree on the way, although by the time we get the bachelor's degree, it'll be something else we need. I fully know that. But we had a team of our students that were one of 4 groups nationwide to win a contest. They won a contest funded from the National Security Innovation Network, which helps solve problems for the U.S. Department of Defense. And the team from CSUSM, as I understand it, won the award, won a monetary award during their pitch and at a hackathon, and that was around developing technologies or systems to help human-controlled and autonomous vehicles operate through cyber attacks and other instances of electronic warfare. So even in the cyber realm, I couldn't help finding an example or two. Another example of what we do on campus that's really important for our students in that engaged learning is service learning. So making sure that our students are getting out there in the community and they're part of the community. Not only is student success important to us, and I came so ignorantly thinking student success was all about graduation, and it is a very important part of it. But on our campus, it is also about how students give back. And so I got an example just a moment ago of one of our service learning projects, and it's called Code Queens. And it involves our involves our cybersecurity students mentoring high school girls in coding. And that is an area that does not always have the diversity of gender to it. So I love the fact that we've got Code Queens moving forward as we move through. But when we think about the engaged learning and what happens there, it means everything to our students and their success. It's not about anymore saying, come in, look to your right and to your left, somebody won't be here. It's about saying, come in and we're going to work together to offer the support that we need for you to thrive and use all your talents to be successful here and move on to serve the community. We have many niche programs like Project Rebound for formerly incarcerated students, ACE Scholars for former foster youth, College Assistance Migrant Program, and we just recently named the Epstein Family Veterans Center, where Dan Epstein helped us open that and have a brand new military services director. A really key program there I want to share with you is Veterans to Energy Careers Program, and it facilitates the transition of student vets into sustainable energy careers through paid internships, mentoring, and professional development. 99% of participants receive job offers before graduation. Now, I was looking at this and thinking, who's that student that did not get the job offer out of this program? 99%. Can't be 100. But anyway, The alumni have gone on to accept positions at Northrop Grumman, Viasat, Boeing, Solar Turbines, and the NSA, among others. So we're very excited, and we just received a renewal of a $6 million grant from the Department of Defense. So where are we going from here? Well, we've got a range of programs designed to support our students. And we want to work together for the programs that really meet the needs of our community. San Diego Workforce Partnerships identified many careers that are important to our future, and we are part of those, right, at CSUSM, including software developers, engineers, nurses, biological sciences, K-12 teachers, speech language pathologists, and social workers, and cyber, that's for you, and cyber, to name a few. And these occupations align with, so much that we're doing and what the community needs, and we build them with the community. And one program I want to talk to you a little bit about is programs like engineering. It launched in 2018, a new engineering program. That is not something you see every day. And why would we need another? Because this region needs engineers. And Viasat thought so too in their partnership with us to start the program. We have been named one of the preferred provider of software and engineering talent by the San Diego Regional EDC. And we recently got a new 5-year, $5 million Hispanic Serving Institution STEM grant to help us launch computer engineering. But what's really exciting about that, if you saw in the Union Tribune, and they don't always write great stories about us, so I really want to brag on this one. When we look at the Union Tribune, they just wrote a story highlighting our next building, which is an integrated sciences and engineering building. That building is going to be important in helping us take this university once again reinventing itself and going to the next level, because that state-of-the-art research facility will help us not only build out our engineering program, but really help us work on focusing on all of those STEM programs that are so important. The building will also further cement where North County is going as the next frontier in life sciences growth in our county, bringing forward opportunities for synergy between the university and industry partners. We have a partnership with a group called North City right around the university. Some developers that were very, very smart to buy up land as the university was starting and is really building our downtown, but they're also building a space for industry to work with our faculty and our students. And so this is really exciting as the next phase of where we go in building out our engineering program. And when I talked to the folks at Viasat when I first arrived, they said one of the most important things about launching an engineering program at Cal State San Marcos, not just because we needed more engineers, but we needed more diversity in the engineering field. My sister's an engineer, and she went to class a few years ago, mind you. She was the only female in most of her classes. And unfortunately, that hasn't changed a lot, and we are determined to make sure that we help diversify the field as well. So along with our new integrated science and engineering building, we also opened in the we opened and now we're reopening. We pre-pandemic opened a new innovation hub, and it's going to open once again. And really, thanks to the generosity of the Conrad Prebys Foundation, we are looking forward to getting to open it anew again, and they have outfitted that hub. It's again a place where we can bring that ecosystem together as a gateway for our faculty, our students, industry, and the community, and bring everybody together to really work and see where we go. Now, universities have long been having innovation hubs, but not always universities like ours, where first-generation students come together and where social innovation is as much a part of it as any other types of entrepreneurship or innovation. Most recently, we hosted a virtual symposium with Qualcomm and the San Diego EDC on the importance of diversity and inclusivity in the workplace. They already have semesterly innovation challenges and offer weekly webinars, and so we are excited that that is off and running in person again. When we think about the university, to me, I think about how important it is for the community, our faculty, our staff, and our students to come together to do the very best for this region and to really be focused on this region. For me, it's such an honor to be able to come here today and to have the opportunity to share with you my passion for California State University San Marcos and the great things that are happening there. You know, it is my desire that everyone in San Diego County knows about CSUSM and our wonderful, successful students, and the social mobility that we're bringing forward. You know, as a society, there is no doubt we're facing many challenges, but at Cal State San Marcos, we are determined to be part of the solutions. I'm not saying that's easy every day, but we are determined. We know that our success is the success of this region, and it's really in partnership with people like you that are sitting in this audience today. I hope that you will come visit our campus and be inspired by the amazing potential of our students to be the change makers of tomorrow. And, you know, I hope that you will find the excitement to be part of our vital innovation ecosystem that is driving this cutting edge research. And I hope that you will join me in being a part of how we redefine higher education. See, this is just so bad that I brought a slideshow. But to me, though, there are few universities that are as uniquely qualified as we are to address the challenges and opportunities before us. Putting students first, building on our strengths around community-engaged learning, partnership, and research, and championing innovation that brings together a diversity of people and ideas that expand knowledge. As the leaders of San Diego, I invite you today to get involved. Whether you want to just come for a visit, be a professional mentor or volunteer, or just come to an event in the arts, athletics, library exhibit, whatever it is, we would love to help you be a part of that and ask you to be part of spreading the great news about who we are. It is an honor to be able to be here with you today. I am so thankful for the invitation, and I will welcome any questions that you have right now. But I won't advance any more slides.
We appreciate